Last year in the United States, 38,680 people were killed by someone violently smashing a car into them. That's more than 100 people per day for an entire year, but this number only includes the violent deaths and does not include the shortened lifespans due to air pollution, obesity, and other causes. By comparison, the current pandemic in the US has killed about 630,000 people at the time of this writing. But COVID is a relatively short-term phenomenon, with most of the deaths occurring within 1 year's time. The automobile, on the other hand, has been killing for over a century, always nearby and ever present. So I decided to see which one is more deadly overall, pandemics or cars. The automobile was first mass-produced when Ford introduced the assembly line in 1913, but there were some cars on the road prior to that. To make the data as simple as possible, I'm going to include all automobile deaths in the US starting in 1900. And the total is 3.85 million people have had their lives violently taken from them at the hands of someone driving a car. Since 1900, there have been 7 pandemics, including the Spanish flu, the Asian flu, the Hong Kong flu, swine flu, the Russian flu, avian flu, H1N1, and most recently, the coronavirus pandemic. Depending on which resource you gather information from, each one of these numbers could fluctuate. So, for the sake of this study, I always inserted the most pessimistic number that I could find. For example, I could only find worldwide statistics for the 1977 Russian flu, so I just included that at face value. This should be viewed as the upper limit of US pandemic deaths. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you include the worst case scenario. The US pandemic total over the last 120 years is 2.25 million people. The automobile overwhelms the loss of life from respiratory pandemics. And remember, this only includes direct vehicle deaths from people smashing into each other. It does not account for the asthma we give to children, the leaded gasoline we used to pump into our tanks, carbon monoxide poisonings, petrochemical exposure, or the obesity caused by sedentary behavior. I can't fathom the true cost of the automobile because the impacts are so incredibly pervasive. Pandemics may cause sharp increases in US mortality and need to be handled appropriately. But where is the outrage over a much more lasting and deadly disease? Automobile-centered cities.